guys. No! What's going on, guys? It's a little different today. I've been fishing for just a little bit. Started out actually crappie fishing, and nah, they weren't really cooperating, and I hate finicky crappie. I just can't stand it. I want to go crappie fish, and I want them to bite really easy, so I'm a lazy crappie fisherman. I'll admit that. So then I turned the page real quick to some bass fishing, and we caught 3 down just a short little stretch here on some mixed rock on a secondary point on the jerkbait. 2 keepers, 1 Kentucky, pretty small, and then 1 a little over 2.5 pounds. So fun stuff. I actually caught them on white so far, but it was cloudy, or it wasn't cloudy, I should say. I was protected from a hillside by the sun, so it was dark. Now we got the sun peeking up, and it's going to be sunny the rest of the day. Bluebird skies. It's actually going to be 91 degrees. I cannot believe I'm saying that in March. Right now, you can tell I'm got a little bit of clothes on. I could probably go down to shorts and be pretty comfortable still, but later on this afternoon it's really going to heat up. So a few things with that. We've been on a bit of a warming trend. We did have a cold front earlier in the week. It was down to 14 degrees, so now we're at 91. We're all over the place here. But in years past, it is easy for me to get ahead of myself and be like, oh, you know, you got really nice weather, you think the fish are automatically going to be pulled up on the banks and all this, and it's not always that way. So you got to really try and pay attention and fish the conditions still, or let the fish kind of tell you what they're doing. Now, all the fish that I've caught so far have been not too far off the bank. In lieu of 1 was off the point, just kind of no man's land around some shad, and that one came off about 10 feet from the bottom. You know, it just worked its way up to the jerkbait. So I think that's kind of the range we're going to be in. I am going to look up some shallower fish later down here on the lower end, but the water is pretty dang clear, and I just don't know if you're going to get a whole bunch way up there, especially without any wind. Right now there's no wind. It is slick calm, so I would look for these fish to be off a little bit, right in that section or that area where you kind of can't see anymore. You can't see them. I think that's kind of where a lot of them are going to hang out, or they'll be staged off a little bit further, you know, in and around brush, or get around docks and stuff, and that can get them moved up a little shallower. So we're kind of going to look at that stuff. I don't know if I'm really going to throw that A-rig today. I might throw it later, but I just retied everything. I got a jerkbait, a stunner, and like a kind of their Pro Blue. I don't know. We'll see. I might go with something with more flash. I'm going to throw that though, because it is natural, and we'll just see how it's getting bit. And then I've got good old classic lower end Wake and React, which that'll definitely get their attention. We'll see if they like the gaudy color. If not, I'll swap over to maybe something with gold or silver that's really got some flash for today. And then we've got I got a football jig on today, and I want to talk about this just a little bit. Time of the year you can start really dragging some jigs around, and just old classic brown 3/4 ounce. And the trailer on here though is something that I want to really try. I'm excited to try as we get further into the season here and things warm up, and especially come dock skipping time. But it is called the Batwing, I believe, by Bojangles, and it's very flat on the backside, which is bait. This is exactly what I've been looking for a long time. It's got the big wings on it. It's very similar to a pack-a-chunk, but I think it's going to skip better, and it's just got more beef to it. The pack-a-chunks also rip really easy, so I think it's a good bait whether you're dragging a jig, flipping a jig around, skipping them, whatever, you know. And this, like, you can do so much with a jig. And then we've got little trusty 1/2 ounce finesse jig with a little rubber on there, and the Crocagator ring crawl. Now here is where I'm a little torn. I haven't fished in 2 weeks, and then I believe the water temp was in the mid 40s, and it is showing like 56, 57. Even in my cove where it's relatively deep, it was showing, you know, 54, 55. Now granted I'm very shallow right now, but I don't know that's just the surface, you know, the surface temp. You go just a little bit lower, it's gonna be cooled off a little bit. So I'm gonna keep the nest style trailer on for a while and see if I'm getting bites. And if I feel like I'm not getting maybe some bites where I should, or I'm getting more in the football jig, then I may swap over to a flapping trailer kind of style thing. Like I said, I think I'm gonna try and keep away from the A-rig today. It's potential that I get it out over some deep brush. And man, we might get crazy though and go look for some stained water and see if we can get a shallow bite going with like a spinnerbait or a rock crawler, or even just flipping a jig. But I don't feel super confident about it because there's no wind today. And part of me says, don't make a long run and waste time doing that because there's no wind. And the other part of me is like, well, you know, you don't know. So we'll see what I end up with. We'll see if we can just get a limit in the boat first down here in the lower end, and then maybe we'll decide from there. So let's see, get started here, see if we can continue. We got 2 keepers already. See if we can get out 3 more. We're gonna be looking on a lot of rock changes and some secondary points, and we'll look at some brush. I don't know how much I'm gonna key in on docks today. I don't plan on doing it a bunch, but we'll kind of just take a gander and see where it takes us. There he is. Little Kentucky. Big old sore on his head. You do not look healthy at all, buddy. I think that's doing some damage to you. If I had to guess. He's a little keeper. That's our first keeper of the day. It's on a white jerkbait. White won't be working for too much longer here. We're in the last little shady pocket. I think I'm gonna tie on a Ozarks shad and some other sort of, I don't know, maybe a Pro Blue. I think I'm out of Pro Blue and Mega Bass and Stunnas, so I'll dig in there, maybe get something with a little gold in it. I expect the sun to be pretty well full on us. There he is. Boy, he rocketed off the bottom there. We'll take him. Keeper number 2 on the same little bank on a point. He's about a 3, maybe. I just gotta show Nathan how easy it is to get these hooks out of this net. I'm lying to myself. That's hard. 260. Terrible fish. See you later, buddy. There's one. Right over there in the shade again. White is the shade color. That's how big he is. I can see the jerkbait, but I can't really see the fish that well. And we can get you in the boat there, buddy. Yeah. You might be short. Good fight, though. Yep. You're actually really short. Healthy fish, though. There he is. I was dragging and I felt a thump. And then I was like, wait a minute. That didn't feel like just a regular old rock. And then I had slack. Small little keeper. He must like Modest Mouse. Yeah, he's almost 17 and a half inches. But hey, we caught him on a football jig. And that's the best part about spring here. Is just opens up your tackle box, man. You can do whatever you like. You can catch fish so many different ways. 211. I feel like we need either a change our jerkbait colors here. Not had any luck on waking yet. Oh, I haven't thrown that much, but I got this stunna color, and I think it's too much white in it, I believe. See if we can pull two more keepers off this bank. Oh, there was something just slapped at it. There he is. Let's see if that's a bass or a crappie. Either way, he feels hooked funny. He might be a bass. He's gonna jump. Cannot tell. Yep, he is hooked funny for sure. Doing the spiral here. But that's a good sign. First cast, or first two casts, even though he's a little guy. Got the action back on the jerkbait because I wasn't seeing much. So now the question is if he was the first one that hit it and came back and got it, or if he just happened to be the runt nearby that started getting after it. Let's cast back over here and see. Might warrant a jerkbait toss up there. There he is. Perfect. I knew you'd be up there. Right on the roof of the mouth. Just had to get a little further back in there. This bank was pretty slow. I really been fishing thorough with this jig. Took a while. Hopefully there's a good bunch of them back here we can get. Number 5, that's 236. Normally don't throw this quite so early in the year, I guess, by the calendar, but what's the calendar mean? No. So what we're gonna do is take this brush hog off, put a fresh one on, and instead of the chartreuse, I'm gonna probably need to retie all this. Instead of the chartreuse, I'm gonna put orange on there. There they are. Where have you been, my dear? I've missed you. Haven't shown you since probably November. Today, we are reunited. All I have is this orange marker. I need to get some orange dip and dye. But this will work for today. We'll go ahead and mark her up now. So let's do a orange. A little orange over here. A little over here. Put a little under here. Alright, let's see if anything bites that. Just a hint of orange on the tails there. We're going to throw that in and around brush. And some of these guts and areas in the back. So we're going to mostly throw the jig still up shallow. Oh gosh, dang it. I had him. Bit it on the fall. I knew there'd be one in there. No! Gosh darn it. Man, I knew. He rolled and I could see it was not in there very good. Darn it. Man, I knew there was gonna be one on that freaking pontoon too. Darn. Kind of swam with it before I set the hook. Oh, that was my bad. Well, gives me a clue, maybe sneaky little spots to try and catch another healthy one like that. There he is. See how big this one is. He feels like he might be okay. As long as he's a bass, not a drum. He is a bass. Not as big as the last one we just missed, but joker. Don't you come off. Barely hooked. Perfect. Well, that gives us number 5, but that's about a pound and a half less than what we would have had. Barely had him with my poor netting skills. Just flipped inside out. I think this one's dead too. Yeah, this one's working again. 266. was out of the water. Garmin says 62.9, but it's still dropping. Hey, there's one. Hey, it might be a good one. As long as it ain't a drum.
On the rock crawler?
Yeah, on the main lake point. Feels good.
With a drum.
God, it could be, you never know. That's what I said earlier when I caught the one. I'm like, oh, I think it's good unless it's a drum. And I was like, please don't be a drum. Oh, it's got to be a bass. Can't see it yet, but I think it's good. Definitely big, whatever it is. Oh, it's a monster. It's a monster drum. I'm talking huge. Oh my God, dude, this thing's a 10-pound drum. Oh no. Oh great. This thing's a monster. I gotta get a picture with it, it's so big. Oh, don't take my rock crawler, don't take my rock crawler. Woo, that was close. Come on, baby. It's hooked underneath its gill. Dude, this thing's big. Oh man. Seriously, I bet I'm gonna weigh it. Oh, it's only 7 pounds. The best part is these jet ski people came by and they're like, look at the size of you little fella. That's a good sign. See you later. That's all right, he was little. Little guy. I might at least get rid of my little Kentucky. Maybe. But you're right where you're supposed to be. So that's good. I think we got that pattern pretty well done. I think he's... I'd had a keeper just shy maybe, but I didn't want to put him on that hot ruler for no reason. I believe we've established that there's a decent amount of fish to be caught on these shallow docks. This almost seems like it's got to be the docks that are sitting on the ground. Not real big though. Catching them, but not a real big fish doing this. They are 100% predictable. That's for sure. Just hoping I can come across one big one. Darn. This is so much fun. They're just eating up this super shallow warm water. The graph says it's like 62 degrees, 63 degrees. If I had more color, I would throw a spinnerbait around all this. I think it's just too dang clear. Yeah, there's a keeper bass. He's just chilling. Swimming around out here in the open, in the flat. He wasn't huge, but probably a 2-pounder. There he is. Another fun one. Oh, buddy, you aren't going anywhere. That's for sure. You are hooked good. See you, buddy. All right, well, that's a wrap on our 90-degree day in March. Overall, I had a fun day. Had probably caught, oh man, the 20-something fish, but it wasn't super easy. This morning started out with the jerkbait and caught some fish pretty quick, and then I then methodically fished the jig is how I will describe it. I went to areas where I believe there were fish, and just kind of really worked it slow and was able to get some bites doing that. I pretty much caught a lot of fish on this little jig here today. This is a 1/2-ounce jig that I tie and make. It's got the little crocodile ring crawl in there. It's basically got some brown living rubber in there. It's got like some brown orangish strands in there as well. And I put just a little bit of regular orange in like the body here on the bottom. I like orange when the water temp, is like around 50 around this time of the year. This just seems to work. I don't know. That's my confidence, I guess. So I caught a lot of fish on that. Caught one on a football jig, same thing, essentially brown with some orange on the claws. I did throw a Zoom brush hog a little bit today, and I had I think a bite or two on it, throwing that mostly in brush piles. But I think it's probably a little too early for that. So the graph says the water temp is like from 56 to like 62, but I think that it's kind of artificially inflated, just that very upper surface, because there's not much wind today, nothing's getting stirred around. I think if you go down just a little bit, it's quite a bit cooler than that, but I would say more like around like 50 is what I think. But obviously if you get super shallow water like today when it's 90 degrees, yeah, I do believe that the water probably did warm up close to 60, 62 degrees. With the jig, I caught most of my keepers on rock changes in and around that. Football jig, I caught some main lake point fish. I didn't actually fish too many main lake points, like flatter ones with a jig. I think that was, you can do that and definitely probably scratch out some more fish doing that. But I did find something really consistent, and that is going to the backs of coves. Really could be a small little cut too, and I'll just call it like the halfway on shore pattern. The dock had to be halfway on the ground. Like the back side of the dock, closer to the land, is sitting on the ground basically, and then the deeper side, the front side, is just a couple feet of water. And if you put that jig in a shady spot in that area, it was almost a guaranteed fish. Now I did catch a lot of shorts doing that, but they were fun. And then I did lose, I think, the biggest fish of the day doing that as well. It was probably a 3 in the 3-pound class range. I don't think it was 4 pounds, but it would have been the best of the day. The best 5 I think would have been probably around like 11 or 12 pounds. Would have been about 13 pounds, maybe 14-ish, if I would have got the bigger one in the boat. But that's fishing. Jerkbait, I honestly, after this morning, I kind of put it down for the most part. I mixed in between this color. Boy, I'd be lying to you if I even know what it is anymore. I don't think this is Tennessee shad, because it doesn't, no, maybe it is Tennessee, because it's got the, or similar to Tennessee shad, it's got that chartreuse on the bottom side of the tail. It's gold. Now it's missing a lot of paint. It's caught a lot of fish. That seemed to have the most luck for me today. I did throw some Ozarks shad around. I threw Wake and React around. White was good when it was cloudy this morning, or before the sun came up, I should say. The water clarity down here seems to have a little bit more stain to it than it did last time I fished. Good color though, not like gin clear, but not dirty. It just has like just a hint of that greenish Ozark tint. All in all though, really fun day. I'll take it for this time of the year. It can be hit or miss, really. You get fish that are moving a lot, and you just got to keep going. And I would say I probably could have covered a lot more water than I did, but I don't know, I got in areas where I thought there would be, you know, congregations of fish or whatever, and just fished them very slow with the jig. So I'll take it for I would say I covered a fair amount of water fishing a jig, let's say that. I'm proud I didn't pick up the rig or anything else. And the rock crawler, I almost forgot to mention the rock crawler. I threw this color right here. We actually just talked about this on the podcast with Justin. I'd be lying to you if I told you the color as well. It's like red bug, but it's clear. You can see through it. So caught a big old drum too, almost like a 7-pound drum. Got my heart going for a minute. I thought it was gonna be maybe a big bass. But caught that on, let's see, rock changes. Just channel kind of style banks with some rock changes in there is where that seemed to work. I fished it on some main lake cuts just inside. As you could tell too, I'm sweating and there's basically no wind still. So the rock crawler bite was actually pretty decent for what it was. I think if you had these conditions, plus you had like a 12-mile-an-hour wind, it could be excellent. So that's definitely coming to life here. And I think, you know, you go get some more stained water. That always seems to help that rock crawler bite as well. Spinnerbait, I chuck and winded just a little bit, but I don't know if it's dirty enough water for the spinnerbait, or just needs a little bit more wind. I didn't feel real confident with that today. I barely threw that. But the tackle box is definitely opening up. I'm very, very thankful for that. I was ready to be done throwing an A-rig jerkbait and a jig. There's a little report there for you if you're coming up. I know it's probably not going to be 90 degrees when you come back, but even when we get to colder weather, as long as we stay on that uptrend, you know, we don't get super cold nights or anything like that, these fish are just going to keep on transitioning, keep on moving, and pre-spawn is definitely in play, and they're gonna have that on their mind, is getting ready to go spawn. So that's going to be the first and foremost thing on their mind. I don't think we're going to see them regress really back into some you know, winter style patterns, unless we just had some sort of freakishly cold snap. But I think at a certain point, even your length of daylight trumps everything. So even if you had a week-long, you know, super cold, and it dropped the water temp, you know, 10 or 12 degrees or even more, I think those fish just like instinctively know that we'll just slide out a little bit deeper where we are, but we're going to be heading right back up shallow again, because the daylight's getting longer, and you know, that's kind of their internal clock. That's how I think of it. So anyway, that's all we got for you. I do want to make an announcement too. We are having an amateur only tournament, so no guides, no pros. We've had some people talk to us or reach out to us and say, hey, you know, we want to fish, we would like to fish more, but we're a little, you know, intimidated, or, you know, we just feel like we can't compete, I think would be the best way to describe it. because they're fishing against some high level people. So we decided that we're going to have one tournament where we make it amateur only, and it's going to be out of Shawnee Bend. It's on May 2nd from 7 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. So we'll have more information on our website, MidwestOutdoorExperience.com. We're going to put a link and stuff up there where you can pre-register, and we will have all the rules, the eligibility, and things of that. So basically, just a real quick rundown of it is if you fish like the Toyotas, or you fish the Bassmaster Opens, or the Elites, or obviously any professional tour like that, you are not eligible. So we're going to truly try and make it, amateur only, weekend type fishermen, and try and make it fun for everybody. So we'll see you on the next video, guys. Keep a lookout for that post there, more information on our Facebook and stuff. And good luck to you. Hopefully this gives you a little tidbit of information to get you in the right direction. So see you later.